Hello everybody, I hope you are well. Today is the third in the series of our explorations of the basics of Systema. In this clip, Lauren Clements takes me through another of their fundamental exercises, their basic drills that everybody new to the art would experience. And this is fascinating because it deals with a very common principle in martial arts, the idea of breath and body movement coordination. But it looks at it from the point of view of being very mindful about the idea of breath starting off, if you like, fueling and firing up each movement. Now, these are very simple drills. We had a play with them the other night in class. In fact, our academy students had a play with it, and it was really useful from an Aikido point of view, getting them to breathe before they started their break falls and breathe to stand up from the floor, and just get them to actually be aware of where their breathing fits in with their pattern of movement. It was actually a very useful thing to experiment with. If you find something in this video useful, don't forget, smash the like button, click the little bell thing so you get notifications, and please consider subscribing. We do appreciate your support. Enjoy the video.
I'll have you stand to your feet. We're going to take you through just the start of a bit of a movement drill. This we're going to get into Duncan's breathing here for a bit. Very simple task. Essentially what we just did, which is Duncan's going to go down to the ground, and then he's going to come back up to his feet. Okay. We're going to add in a breathing sequence for that, and we can play around with these in multiple different ways. But we're going to start again with the very foundation. He goes down to the ground. He's going to exhale. Okay. As he comes back up to his feet, he's going to inhale. That follows along with what's happening with our diaphragms. Okay, as we're inhaling, tension is coming into our diaphragm. As we exhale, it naturally releases and relaxes. I would ask Duncan that he tries to do it a little bit differently each time. Okay, try not to kind of, we call it rewinding the tape. So you go down a certain way, and it's like you're rewinding the tape, coming back up the same way. That's it. We want you to come up a little bit differently, go down a little bit differently. I'll demonstrate a little bit just so Duncan's got a bit of an idea. Sometimes my feet can be very close together as I'm working, and I'm going down to relaxation. I come out a different way. It could be that I'm starting to see if I can kind of stretch my body out, trying to be nice and soft. It could be that I am using my hands. It could be that I take my hands out of the picture. Can we get down to the ground with our hands behind our back? Can we get back up with our hands behind our back, etc.? So I'll add in little factors that I want Duncan to kind of focus in on. We're going to be here for a long time. This is a great way to loosen up your body. Duncan's got these nice mats here, primo. We tend to try to do this on the cement, okay? Cement is a good teacher, or wood floor is a good teacher, because there's just no give in them, which means if I'm working against restriction and something that's going nowhere, it means I would have to really soften my body, okay? So we'll let Duncan have a little bit of a go. Then I'm going to talk to him about his breathing as he does it, okay? So he's going to find himself down to the floor. That's it. And right back to his feet here. And we'll do 5 or 6 times. We want Duncan's breathing to lead his movement, okay? You think of it like your movement is carriages on falling behind a train engine. Your breathing is the engine of the train here. So what we want you to do, you're standing, you're starting your exhale, and then the movement happens. Then on the bottom end, you start your inhale, and then your movement happens. So our breathing is always sitting on the outside of our movement here, okay? Your movement is always encapsulated in your breathing, okay? Breathing nice and smoothly. And for the sake of what we're up to today, I'll ask Duncan that each time he goes down to the ground, he's going to let go and relax. Good. That's it. He starts to inhale, and he starts his movement. As he's coming down to the ground, he can go down to his back, his front, or his side. And he can use whatever he wants to use to get down there and back up. Yeah, good. That's it. And again, so this goes again into, look, tension is very easy for us to develop. Relaxation, a little trickier. Because we're in an active environment a lot of times in martial arts. We tend to creep up in tension all the time. Again, it's very difficult for us to come back down. Good fighters, and you watch them all the time. With modern day fighting, you look at the ones that are nice and relaxed. My brain always goes to Diaz brothers. Yeah, very loose guys. Yeah, and it makes them, for one, it makes them exciting fighters, but it makes them pretty unpredictable. It's like you don't quite know what they're going to get up to. A couple more times here.
I feel myself holding my breath.
Ah, good.
Just during certain parts of it.
Yeah, yeah. So a good method for that is to make your breath audible so you can hear it. Especially when you're working with other partners, there'll be spaces where you all of a sudden you're not hearing your breathing.
Which is what we all teach, but it's so easy to forget.
Yeah, that's it.
Especially when you're concentrating on something that's unfamiliar.
Yeah, very good. A couple more times. And we're just going to add in little factors. Look, this is straightforward drilling, but we can make it a bit problematic as we go. Good. And Duncan's going to continue here, but he's going to take his hands out of the mix. Okay, so meaning that he's not allowed to push down on the ground with them anymore. He can extend them out if he needs to generate a bit of momentum, that's fine, but we want to keep them nice and loose. So tactically, we're going to a place where Duncan can be pushed to the ground, he could be on the ground, he wants to get back up, but he can have access to his hands. Okay, in the police, strict matter of, look, sometimes my hands are on somebody, my hands need to get to my tools, but if they're involved in being on the ground, they're taking away from the possibilities of what I can use to manage a situation. And if we're starting to think about pushing pressure down to the ground, I'm loading my body weight up. What joints are vulnerable here? My elbow, my wrist, and my shoulder. Nice quick kick there, or even a bump or whatnot, crack. You're done with it. And so it becomes, especially with slow movement, it's like rather than glugging down a liter of water, it's like you're sipping fine wine. Okay, you're taking your time with it. You're doing what is necessary for the task here. Not overloading a system that is already being burdened by physical activity, by making your breathing harder and more tension. We want less tension.